We're going to look at 10 different tips for a Treant protector that will hopefully make you better at this hero. So number 1, use your Q in the trees early on when someone is walking through the tree line. When they're walking through the trees, it's very hard for them to get out of your nature's grasp, and it often leads to a first blood kill early on. Number 2, when you're invisible out the level 10 talent, you can walk into the enemy's part of the jungle and not allow them to see you and place down observer wards. This will also not break your invisibility when you place down a ward. 3, when there's nothing really happening and you need the match to stall out for as long as possible, pushing a creep wave with your first spell and staying very far back, and you want to put it almost like horizontally in the lane but not breaking out of the nature's guise from the trees, so this way that the enemy will have a hard time trying to gank you. It has a very long cast range. The further you stand back, you still get that farm, it slows them down, and you can even use meteor hammer after they're being slowed to hit those creeps. Alternatively, you can even hit towers and pressure people to teleport back to the lane. This is often a great way to stall out the game for your carry to get those crucial items to win the later parts of the game. The next one, if you're playing support in the off lane, so a position 4 Treant protector, you often want to put a ward between the tier 1 and tier 2 on the enemy side so that you can see couriers come in and get pretty easy snipes. However, if you put a ward just straight behind the tier 1 tower, it often gets dewarded, so you want to place it much further back. The enemy won't really see it, and once you see the courier walking through that ward, you can make your way and you can see it earlier, so you can even sometimes kill the courier before it gets to the carry who's trying to get more regen. And when they run out of regen, they don't have their courier. It's not even the gold that the courier gives, but it's the fact that they can't keep last sitting in lane if they're really low health. 5. When you're using regen for something like your tangos or a salve, make sure you're standing in the trees with nature's guise, because you actually get a buff that heals you more. And even your passive health regen, when you're walking from A to B, you really want to, if you need to heal up as well as move faster, you want to really be utilizing the nature's guise movement speed and the healing buff as much as you can. This is often as well why people build tranquil boots, which make it easier to move through the trees without breaking that nature's guise each time. 6. You can capture the outpost from the low ground, so if you walk through the trees over near the outpost and capture it, you can do this both on the radiant and dire side. Do be aware though, it does give true side, so be careful about like ganks and those sort of scenarios. 7. The living armor is not necessarily the most popular spell right now, but if you're trying to heal your allies and see who's the lowest health right now, you can hold down the alt button and you can see the health bar and mana bar of everyone up at the top part of the UI. This way you don't have to move your camera around the map and see who's low health right now. And also with living armor, if you're trying to get the maximum of healing a tower and the enemy is pushing, don't use the living armor straight away. Wait until you put out the glyph, and then while it's glyphed you can put the living armor on it. This way that they won't cancel all of the stacks of the living armor which it blocks with each hit, so you get the full health regen of your living armor during the glyph at the same time. 8. Bring your own sentry to a tower that your team is going to defend. Often good players will just bring sentries with them when pushing a tower. Maybe at lower ranks you might get away with it, but walking up to the tower, do be aware that they might place down sentries and they will try and cut you off before you hit the overgrowth. This is often a really good way to play this hero, is just trying to counterplay a push that the enemy is doing. They don't expect to all get rooted. However, coming up to number 9, you want to time your ultimate differently once players have BKB or Manta, because once they have that, they can dispel your ultimate pretty easily. If you have someone who has BKB already used and this is their only way of escaping overgrowth, you can then use your overgrowth. It goes through spell immunity, so you root them, waste their time in their ultimate and hold them back, maybe even allowing your whole team to disengage from the fight. So finally, number 10, if you want to farm some neutral creeps, maybe there's some downtime in the game and you want to get some efficiency also into it. What you can do first is stack the camp, then press your Q down through the neutral camp. This way you'll do a lot of damage in pretty much an AoE to these neutrals. And you can also move into the tree line and orb walk, which you end up attacking the neutrals, move into the shadows within your trees, and neutrals will not be able to attack you while you're in the trees. Really efficient way of farming. So if you found this content helpful, make sure you subscribe for more Dota content like this. If you want to see me live streaming, I'm over on Twitch. You can go follow me there.